Welcome back to the What's Good podcast. Today we're here with Mr. Araujo. Mr. Araujo, what are your overall thoughts on this year so far?
It's been a pretty good year. It's probably one of my best years teaching, and I've had really good classes, so I can't complain.
I'm glad you like the year so far. So what's your favorite unit to teach when it comes to American history?
Oh, easy. Constitution. I love teaching the Constitution because it's all about the government. That's my favorite thing to teach.
Why do you enjoy it?
Because I know it's a direct, your life is directly affected by our government here in the United States. And I think it's important that you know how it works and how you have the power and the control over it. And because they like to tell you that they have all the power and the control. And I want my students to leave knowing that they are the ones that really control our government here in America.
Yeah. So are you glad that your history team got first place?
Of course, I'm glad I got first place. I'm glad I'm talking to the first place winner as well. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Is there anything you want to ask me, Mr. Araujo?
What was your favorite subject this year?
Subject? What do you mean?
Out of all the 4 core classes you took, what was your favorite class?
Let's see. It was probably history because history is one of my strongest subjects.
Okay. So what did you learn from history then this year?
I learned a lot about my individual rights, which are some of the most important parts of your life.
That's correct. All right. So, and what are you looking forward to when it comes to high school next year?
Definitely the more challenging classes.
Yeah, they are going to be more challenging classes for sure. And a lot more work, a lot more homework and stuff like that. So, and then why did you pick band over AVID? Nicely.
Well, they need me in that program. They've told me that they need me in the program.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
And I know you enjoy band, so.
Yeah, I do enjoy it a lot.
Let's see. What else what was your favorite thing that we did this year in AVID?
In AVID, it was I genuinely can't remember.
Okay. Well, did you enjoy the overnight field trip?
Yes, I did enjoy that.
Okay. So what was your favorite campus that I already know that. It's UT. Because you're all about UT.
Yeah.
That's when you asked me the first time to come on this podcast. I made you wait, 6 months?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. But you're getting me now. Now. It's going to be the highest rating one I know. Everyone's going to be listening to this one. They want to know what's going on in Mr. Araujo's brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite country?
My favorite country?
Yes.
That I visited or?
Just in general.
Well, America's my favorite country in general. But my favorite country that I visited, it's really hard. I've been to the Philippines and China. I've been to some other countries as well. But I really loved the Philippines and China. Even though, especially China. I love China, even though they're a communist nation. It was really cool to get to visit China and just to see that, and I hope to go back one day. So.
Yeah. If you were to teach any other subject, what would it be?
It would be 12th grade government.
12th grade government?
Yes, 12th grade U.S. government. That's my dream. So, and I really want to teach that, and I wouldn't be opposed to teaching AVID full-time either. So.
Should have probably specified what other stuff besides history and AVID. Sorry.
If I had to choose something, probably science.
Science?
Yeah, I think science is really cool. I'm really interested in it. My minor in college was science. So I really enjoy it. Especially, I took microbiology in college, and it was an amazing class. Anatomy 1 and 2 was really cool to figure out how the human body works. That kind of stuff was really interesting to me. So I could be a science teacher. I enjoy teaching science, but don't get me into chemistry because there's math in chemistry or physics, and I don't want anything to do with math because you know how I am with math.
Yeah. Anytime we asked you for help in math here in AVID, you always either called Miss Luna or called one of the other students.
Yeah, because I was just, if I'm giving you help in math, you're going to fail math. So I didn't want to do that to y'all.
One of the main students you called was Rebecca.
Yes, I called you too.
At times.
But normally, if you were to ask me a question, I would ask Rebecca to come over. So, because I knew she would be the most help out of all the other students in here because she was in. Because how many other people in here were actually in algebra? There weren't that many.
There was me, Agustin, Juan, Serenity, Rebecca. Who else? Isabella was also was in algebra. That's all the people that I can remember that are in algebra.
And Rebecca, of course, she was really confident in what she was doing. So, and she was thorough. She was very thorough.
Very, yes.
So I knew she was going to give good help and not just give you the answer.
Exactly.
So that was the other reason I called her. She was going to pull out her notes too.
Mm-hmm.
But me, I learned. Well, I didn't learn. I refreshed some of my algebra mind with Rebecca. We would have to go ask Miss Boone questions and things like that. So.
What are your thoughts on Rebecca's debating skills?
Oh, they're good. If she could just hone them in to listening to the other side as well, listening to the other side, not just listening to figure out another argument. So, but she's a great debater. She has a great future as being a lawyer or someone like that. Tell you what, if I needed someone to stand up in a courtroom and fight for me or fight for rights that I think I would need, Rebecca would be the person I'd call because she would fight. Even if she doesn't believe in it, she's going to fight for it because she doesn't like to lose. So
yeah. Was there any other career you wanted to do besides teaching?
I actually wanted to go into, and you're going to be like, what? I wanted to go into ministry.
Ministry?
Yeah. So I actually wanted to be what they call a missionary, someone who goes and travels the world and just tells people about the gospel. And so that's actually what I assumed I would always do. It's my master's is in and everything. And then I kind of got led to education, and I love teaching. I love it. It's the hardest but most rewarding and best job I've ever had. And I've had some really hard jobs, but this is my favorite. I just can't imagine not being in a classroom. So even though there's days where it's rough and it's hard and I'm like, I don't want to do this today, I love it. And I know I always joke around and tell all my kids, I dislike you all equally and stuff like that, but I don't. I love my students every year, and they're the reason I get up in the morning and come in here and do this job even when I don't want to. They're the reasons I stay really, really late sometimes. And the reason my kid doesn't see me a lot sometimes during the school year is because I'm dedicated to my students and to my job because I love it.
It's good that you're doing a job that you enjoy and not just a job that pays you the most money.
Yeah, no, teaching does definitely not pay me the most money. So, but no, I really enjoy it. I never in my life would have thought I'd teach because I hated school growing up. So never, ever, ever, ever would I have said, I'm going to be a teacher. So don't ever think you're not going to be a teacher because it could happen.
I think the reason you became a teacher was because you wanted to show students that learning isn't boring.
I did, and I know that sometimes things that we still have to do are boring. I get that, and I know that, but I wanted exams and getting ready for those, and of course notes. But it's one of those how else am I going to get you this amount of information without you having to go read on your own and things like that. And so, but also at the same time, I wanted to become a teacher too, to be able to make impacts in the next generation, because y'all are our next generation. You are the future of this country, and we need y'all to be educated and well-rounded citizens going in because you will lead us one day. It's kind of terrifying, but y'all will lead us one day.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite class period?
Yes, of course. It's 7th period. That's my favorite class period.
Mm-hmm.
It's my conference period.
Oh.
I will never tell you I have a favorite class period. I'll never divulge that information. There's always a favorite period, though. So.
Is it an honors period?
I will never divulge that information. I can't do that. Sworn by the oath of the teacher handbook not to do that. So, no, but the thing about it is every class period is a little different. So even honors to honors, they're still a little different. On-level classes are still different. So it's really hard because it's just the mix of kids and what's happening in that room. They can be completely different. So.
And that's one of the things you look forward to is having the diversity of the different personalities inside your classroom.
Yes, even the hard personalities, sometimes they're my favorite personalities because they are the ones I get to talk to the most about things and do things with. And so the diversity of what's happening in the classroom, like from the different types of people in there to the different personalities, is really probably one of my favorite things, for sure. Because it would get boring if everyone was exactly the same and everyone was really quiet. It would be a really boring class and a really boring day.
But your first period, on the other hand, that's a class.
My first period this year was something else, but they were some of the best kids. I mean, like, they were some of, like, my highest kids and things like that. And I enjoyed having them in there, even though there were days that they didn't like me and I didn't like them. It was okay. Like, at the end of the day, I think they still knew that I was there for them. I loved them. I was going to I was going to do whatever it took. But we had some days, for sure. But who doesn't have days like that?
Yeah.
Why? Who did you think my favorite period was?
Your first or third?
My first or third?
Yep.
Why?
Because they're your 2 honors classes.
Oh, just because they're honors doesn't automatically make them your favorite. So.
Well, they're full of some of the highest performing people.
Well, they are full of some of the highest performing people, but there were high performers in other classes too. And I love to see just growth in my students. I love to be able to see my students just grow throughout the year, no matter if they're high, low, whatever it is. I just want to see that you've grown, you've learned, you've not only like the content, but as a person. Like that's my goal as an educator, and I enjoy that. And I think it's funny because some of the kids that other kids would think teachers wouldn't like, they're sometimes like your favorite kids.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is there anything else you need to talk about or get off your mind on this episode?
No, other than just I want this class to keep doing well together. Work hard when you get to the high school. Know that majority of us over here at the junior high, especially me, we're just an email away. And I say that in all sincerity. I still have kids that email me. My first class is graduating this year. I still get emails from them about asking me for advice on things, or can you do this for me? Can you help me with that? And so know that once I'm your teacher, I'm always your teacher. I'm always here for you. So it's like my biggest thing I want you to know. And also, popular sovereignty. We the people, we rule this country.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Roham, I'm going to let you close out this episode for today because you're the first actual teacher that I've had on this podcast. So I'm going to let you go ahead and close out the episode.
Okay, well, I've never closed out a podcast before, but I would say thanks for listening to the What's Good podcast. Chris, thanks for asking me to do it, and best of luck at the high school, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Yep.